YouTube Hassan here again with another film review. Today I'm talking about the second installment of the X-Men series. We're talking about X2, which is also known as X-Men 2. Let's begin. This X-Men, begins with this blue guy, his name is Nightcrawler. He attacks Sensei K's office. He attack, but only to give like a warning saying he wants mutant freedom. Also, then at the same time, Wolverine is basically cuts to it, having him go like Arctic or something that still doesn't know who it is and stuff. So then, trying to find out memories of himself, but no idea what. So then, Xavier finds out about the attack. So then, him and Cyclops, meaning Scott, go to the prison where, as it turns out, that's where Magneto is. But as it turns out, it stops his powers from working, basically. So then what happens is Magneto has no idea about the attack. There's no idea what's going on. But then also Jean and Storm, they find Nightcrawler because wounded. They fix him up and then they find out that he's actually still badly injured, but also that he's the one who did the attack. And they also find out that he was actually sent by someone to do the attack. As it turns out, that person is actually known to Xavier. So what happens is also Wolverine goes back to the Institute as well, because in the first film I forgot to mention, before he goes off, he takes Scott's bike and he returns the bike to him. Scott's like, oh, you better not scratch it. So then what happens is also the Institute gets attacked by also that same guy who actually, it turns out, he knows Wolverine, but Wolverine has no idea who he is. So then Colossus, I think Colossus is in it, I can't remember, but I know it's in the third one, but I don't know. Pedro, Bobby and Rogue, they go to Bobby's house, but his parents call it MID or the police to like arrest them kind of thing, because they're mutants. Also at the same time as well, Mystique in disguise, she basically releases Magneto out of the prison, and then they help the X-Men, basically Pedro, Rogue and Bobby and Colossus, basically I think is, basically save them. Because also Magneto's found out that the guy who basically, attacked the Institute and sent, and also sent the Nightcrawler to attack. And it turns out that guy is actually, basically Magneto has basically an old score to settle with him. So what happens is they then go to the, basically the place where he is, and there's a fight, and then what happens is, basically it brings back some visions, crazy visions from Wolverine, but I have no idea what. And because that guy's trying to also manipulate him. So what happens is basically, like I said, the fight, and then they strap, because there's bombs everywhere as well, so they strap that guy to, that aeroplane, and then it blows up. Also Pedro, or Pedro, or Hydro, I think it is. Yeah, he goes with Magneto and Rogue, and everyone else, all the X-Men also tried to go, but there's not enough power, so Jean volunteers, but everyone's like, no, don't. So then she still stays and she goes out, she has her powers and everyone goes, but then an explosion which blows up, it actually blows up Jean, and then at the Institute everyone's talking, and then Xavier, Wolverine and Cyclops, all three of them are actually talking about Jean, they're remembering her, and Wolverine tells Cyclops that Jean chose him over him, as in she chose Cyclops over Wolverine. And then the film, and it goes to a phoenix-like creature thing trying to rise up. The end. Now what I like about this film is that at the end, especially, as like I said, that phoenix thing shows that they're going to make another film, so also leaving with a suspense, which is good. And also I like seeing how it's got the Brotherhood, meaning you know, it's just Magneto and Mystique, and then work with Xavier for one common goal. And I like how also that guy who attacked Institute and sent Nightcrawler actually is already known to Magneto and Xavier. Also, it shows a bit of insight to like some memories of Wolverine. Like I think it's this film or I can't remember which film it was. It showed a flashback kind of thing, a memory thing, or it might have been a cartoon. I can't remember, or the comic books. I can't remember. It was like him in this like machine thing showing like that, but I think that brought that memory back into that film. I can't remember. Also, I like how everyone like proves they especially like they all love each other, and especially they all love they all love Jean, trying to stop her from killing herself as well. And also like especially how Magneto has no idea what's going on about the attack, and it's good having him in that prison where it stops, even though he's sane, but it stops him from using his powers. That's the stuff I like about it. Now, what I don't like about it was for the fact that they killed that guy. What they should was at least try to get him to, like, get him to make basically help help Wolverine basically get his memory back basically, something, or at least tell, because Wolverine's wondering at the moment who he is, and then because also the guy's like, you really have no idea who you are, do you? So it'd been good to at least get him to tell Wolverine who he is and tell him how he doesn't remember anything. But I don't know, I guess. But it's also kind of stupid how Bobby's parents were so like basically hating on mutants. Even their own son who's a mutant. I was like, really? You're his parents. You're supposed to support him instead of like trying to get him killed. I mean, seriously. He's just, no matter what he is, he's still your son. So, also I like how, also I forgot to mention what, but the good also thing was, which I forgot to mention what I like, also how Bobby and Rogue admit that they like each other, and they actually, like, basically admit they like each other, and they kiss, so it proves that they get together. So, yeah. And the thing that I didn't like, those are the only things that I didn't like. So that's now from overall review for this film, I'll give it 9 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, leave your comments below what next films I should review. Remember, tune in next week and I'll be reviewing